Crawford helping get this thing here in Tallahassee and making the Civic Center available here at the Tuck.
Our outstanding officiating crew, Teddy Valentine, Don Daly, Connor Penn, Knowles, and the all-golds tip won by the home team. They will go right to left on your screen. Chandler Jackson, who's been a leader per Leonard Hamilton here in this early part of the season, had 6 assists against UMass on Sunday. On the catch, zone defense for the Catamounts out of the SoCon. Cross-court pass, nearly a turnover. Shot clock under 10. Holt. Active defense from the Catamounts in purple. Here's Ewan. A beast in Connecticut. Turns, fires it, and drops it. Malik Ewan.
Pick it up right where he left off, just going into paint and throwing right through the chest of Palat.
Ewan, the junior college player of the year 1 season ago. Played at Ole Miss before that. 17 points against the Minutemen on Sunday at the Mohegan Sun. Florida State early lead, 2-0, stolen away. Taylor Bowen, one of the best thieves in college basketball. Ewan, big time move, had it all but the finish.
The defense that was there this weekend showing back up for Florida State tonight.
The Catamounts want to fire it away from 3. They will launch over 30 times a game, averaging nearly 50% of their attempts from beyond the arc. That one misses by a mile. Holt off the glass and in. Knowles double their lead, 4-0.
Coast to coast for Leonard Hamilton Seminoles. That's how he likes his point guards and his wings as well. Just take it and take it down the floor.
4-0 Knowles. Bostyn Holt, the experience. And another deflection by a Seminole team. Top 10 in the country in steals. Top 10 in the country in defensive turnover percentage. That's what Leonard Hamilton's teams want to do. They want to get out and run. They want to make it hard to score on. This team has all the makings, Jacob Early, of being an elite defensive squad.
Yes, he's finally got his depth and his roster back to the athleticism and the length he likes to have with his teams. His defense is there. He's trying to get his offense to kind of accelerate. They had flashes of it this weekend in Connecticut, and they're hoping to build on that going through this break this weekend.
3-ball launched. Oh, another one missed by a mile. Couple of them early.
That's not going to make Tim Kraft happy, the Tallahassee native.
Ewan aggressive, another finish. Inside the paint, Malik Ewan, the energy he's bringing early for Florida State, it's been incredible.
You can see in the way he was carrying himself in warm-ups and the way he was at shoot-around today, he's just got another air about him after having such success. The last 4 games in double figures, set a career-high 3 straight games, and here we got another deflection right out of bounds. That defense doing what they've worked on all summer.
There's a bio blast for Leonard Hamilton in his 23rd season, the 3-time ACC Coach of the Year. He said, look, this group's having fun. They're playing unselfishly, and he pointed out to over 280 passes completed against UMass. He said, that's how you know our offense is working. Unselfish, move the ball side to side, and allow for an execution. 25
assists on the 33 made baskets. That's an impressive stat. Leading for the ACC, the best all year so far.
Block shot there, Taylor Bowen. That'll be another chance, though, for the Catamounts of Western Carolina. Morgan launches. That one's good. Brandon Morgan, the junior. Transfer from junior college, ranks Caldwell Community College. He's averaging just shy of 5 points per game. That's what Western Carolina wants to do. They value the 3-ball. Oh, and Ewan values the jam.
You better move your feet on defense, Catamounts, because Ewan can put it on the floor. He plays like a point forward position, initiating the offense in junior college. That's really been part of his slow process adjusting, is that he's not used to going to the block.
Stansbury tries his hand out of a 3. Ewan's feeling pretty good. Aggressive, throws it up, and it is a blocking foul. Ewan will go to the line.
Ewing just puts it on the floor, blows right by the defense, and says, thank you very much. Get out of the way.
Jacob, what do you make of his athleticism, his handles, and his vision as a big man?
You know, it's not an everyday thing you kind of see with a 6'11 guy who got such soft touch and has got a sweet little jump shot. You don't expect him to be able to drive right by you. He's got explosive first step. It's hard to adjust to his, but you're talking about a team here in Western Carolina that they don't have a 7-foot guy on their team, much less a guy that can dribble and shoot it.
Mass substitutions for the Catamounts and for Tim Kraft's group. Tim Kraft back in his hometown of Tallahassee.
But the highlight of Ewan's weekend, he shot 70% up there, 7 of 10 in both games. Like, that's impressive. Rebounded the ball well.
Here's the Tally native, Tim Kraft. Went to North Florida Christian and Florida High here in Tallahassee. Another turnover.
And when he went to Florida High, it was on campus. It was right around the corner, right? Across from the, it's like a medical school there now, isn't it?
I believe you're correct there. Said he was back in Tallahassee with Gardner Webb a few years ago when he coached there. Said this place continues to change every time I come back. Knowles up. 10-3. What a feed! And a grown man's flush from Ewan.
Nice floater pass right up there where you need to throw it. Put it above the rim, up and high for the big fella to throw it down.
How about these Knowles? They've shot out of a cannon. Up 12-3. Ball movement. Stansbury. The transfer from Pepperdine. Swarming defense and ball pressure by Florida State. Shot clock under 10. On the turn, block shot. Jamir Watkins into transition. Watkins has it taken away. A late foul called. Is it on Western Carolina? I believe it is.
Like, hey, that's a pretty good streak right there. I wish I could move there and let my kids get that athleticism. But he's had big success. He's had 3 ACC wins when he's at Gardner Webb with Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Clemson. He also beat Purdue, Nebraska, Georgia. A lot of success. He's a great coach. Great young coach.
He joked he went to a coffee shop this morning and someone recognized him from 20 years ago and said, "Tim?" He goes, "Yeah."
He said he was struggling. He was like, "I know that guy."
Oh, another alley-oop.
And I think Chandler Jackson knows that guy too. Taylor Bowen.
High above the rim. Florida State leads by 11. Some questions of Florida State's third game in 5 days. How would they respond? Would the legs be tired? So far, doing exactly what you want to do, right? Get downhill, get to the rim.
The elevator's still going to the top floor. I can tell you that right now.
They forced their third turnover defensively. How about this rim attack?
Chandler Jackson, really good. The lob's up high. A lot of times guards want to bounce it to the big fella, throwing it up there for Taylor Bowen just to throw it down.
6'10" sophomore from Jericho, Vermont. Taylor Bowen. The Energizer Bunny.
Coach Hamilton talking in practice about Chandler Jackson and people saying, why is he not making shots? And Coach Ham's like, he's distributing the ball. He's rebounding. Right there's a perfect example. That lob assist right there is what you need.
Calm and steady presence of a Chandler Jackson here in this early portion of the season. What a feed. Dang, he can fire it away. He can shoot it. He misses the mark. Long rebound pushed into the front court. Here's Livingston. The Seminoles will switch 1 through 5. They've got some wrinkles recently, some variations of the switching game. Another turnover. Davis, the outstanding freshman, enters the game. No look pass inside. Deflected, taken away. And now the Catamounts will try and push in transition. Livingston, 3 ball, that rims out. And the rebound on the right side of the iron by Chandler Jackson. Watkins, 3, launched, rims out. Rebound there to number 1, Chase McKee.
McKee's dad, Derek McKee, big-time NBA player, played at Alabama, all-NBA rookie team.
No doubt some with the Pacers, the Seattle Supersonics, and the 76ers. Florida State, they've created turnovers early. What a feed! And a rim assault for Jerry Day.
So unselfish by Jamir Watkins. Instead of getting his own, he gave it right there to the newcomer, Jerry Dang. Not only can he shoot it from deep, but he can throw it down.
Alir Malouk, the 7-footer with the steal. Interior feed, Malouk's got the mismatch. Oh, and he made the mistake of bringing the ball down. It's slapped out of bounds. It'll stay with Florida State.
In practice, because in high school, you know, you kind of put it on the floor.
Adjusted the shot clock. Florida State will get 20 on it. Inbounds, baseline out of bounds play. Swinton. Couple of freshmen passing the ball. And Davis dragged his feet.
Switching them pivot feet. That's easy to do, and you don't even realize it.
Florida State team 92-59 over UMass on Sunday. 2 days before that, they beat Temple. Oh, bad pass. Knowles turn it over. Get the turnover, kick out. 3 ball in the air. It is no good.
Multiple 7-footers can shoot the threes around here. Crazy look for Leonard Hamilton.
I caught my breath. Alir Malouk launching it from beyond the arc. How about that move? And a nice little finish there for number 2, C.J. Islands.
Took it in there, kind of surprised everybody. Finished with the inside hand. You would think he would have switched to his outside hand and used his left hand.
Here's Dang. Pump fake. Didn't shoot it. Thomas. Maluk. Turns. Faces. Fires. Oh, that's sweet.
He is so comfortable. He's still, as Coach Hamilton said in practice days, growing into his body. But heck, he can shoot it already.
Alir Maluk from Baldwin, Pennsylvania. Parents are South Sudanese. On the attack, shot off the glass, no, tipped around. It'll go out of bounds. It'll stay with the Catamounts. WCU, Western Carolina from Cullowhee, North Carolina. A school with a little over 7,500 in attendance and enrollment. Founded in 1889. 3-ball straight away, back iron. The Catamounts haven't shot it well early here in Tally. It'll keep the basketball. They didn't play for a whole week. Their last opponent was at Wake Forest 1 week ago. They lose 82-69. They've only played 2 Division I teams so far.
Exactly. They played Queens out of Charlotte. And both those teams they lost to, they were right there in those games. In the second half, they were down 6 at Wake Forest. But they made shots. And it's hard to shoot shots when the guys are longer that are flying towards you.
Tim Kraft is really worried about it. Feed inside, kick out. Swinton can shoot the 3. That one's not going to go. Offensive rebound, Maluk. Swinton attacks the rim. He's going to the line. A smile on Swinton's face, a physical drive, and he'll be at the free.
Last couple years, it's been a little dicey on the defense, but they turned the corner last year going into the Georgia Tech game at Christmas at that holiday break, and it was like a whole new team showed up for Florida State.
And as A.J. Swinton, the freshman from Cabin John, Maryland, knocks down the free throw, Leonard Hamilton talked about how he felt like this team's depth. There was a quality 6 through 10, 6 through 12 that he could bring off his bench that models a lot of the teams that have been successful in the past for him. And Jacob, that allows Florida State to stay fresh, to continue that defensive intensity and that pressure for a full 40 minutes in a game.
And that's exactly what's going to be a major problem for Western Carolina tonight, is that depth where he can bring his second team in, where Leonard thinks his second team's defensively better than his first team, and they're out on the floor now. So, and you're going against some of the starters still for Western Carolina. It's just a tough matchup for the Catamounts.
Brandon Morgan controls the rock for the Catamounts. Feed to Fisher Brown, who can really shoot the 3. Morgan launches from the parking lot. That's what you want, right? If you're the Catamounts, that's more your game plan.
Got to make the 3s, and Tim loves it. Coach Kraft loves the fact these guys can shoot the ball, and he wants them shooting clean looks.
They will fire over 30 of them tonight from beyond the arc. And the key for them will be, can they make 10 to 15 of them and stay in the game? Dang. Davis steps into a 3 of his own. That one's back iron, need to, fighting for it. He's got the ball. What a feed, it's ripped away. Active hands by the Catamounts.
Great offense by Florida State, even though they didn't get a basket. The ball movement and good hands there. Good defense by the Catamounts, jumping into passing lane.
Wing rotation, Pelot with the jam! Over Nitu! Put it on a poster!
Oh my goodness! Get a picture of that one. That's going on in the program, the poster, the wall, you name it.
Bernard Pelot, hello.
One power dribble baseline. You better seal that baseline off, or he about to sit on you, fellas. Look at this. The defense kind of there, but he just went right by the young freshman.
Listen, if you're going to go up as a defender, you got to get a hand on it or foul the guy.
Right.
Right.
Don't
Those
let
are the
him
rules.
get you. But, you know, Nitu, who didn't play last year due to a bad growing injury, sat out. He's still getting it back in rhythm. You know, get him 2 more months, and let's see if he can get that dunk on Nitu, the young freshman from Canada.
Yeah, you don't want to be on that image otherwise, right? Ask Jordan Wara how he feels about being on the same image as Trent Forrest. Another parking lot bank open Tuesday night.
From my favorite name, Ice Emery from deep. He's got ice water in his veins from deep.
Ice Emery, who has a cooler actual name, Chabalet.
Right? He said it was his dad's name. His dad's nickname was Ice, so he kind of carried it over.
3 ball, outstanding freshman, Davis, Daquan from the corner pocket. Knowles back in the lead by double digits.
He's only shooting 22% from deep, but hey, you better count it if he's back there. He's got a sweet little stroke.
The response not there. Offensive foul. Pushing off was Vernon Collins. The threes are starting to fall here in Tallahassee over the last couple of moments.
And the bank's still open too. Not just are the threes falling. The bank, the ATM, you name it, and Davis deep in the corner. The young freshman from Overtime Elite in Atlanta. It's a nice little spark plug. Leading assist man for Florida State also.
You ask Guy Semery, he'll tell you he called it. Said you didn't hear me, but I said it.
He acted like it.
Ewan back in the game, fouls.
Tough break for Marcus Kell. He saw it coming. He saw the lob and just kind of backs into him to take his space. Ewan's already in the air. It's a foul every time. You got to let the big man land.
That is the 5th team foul on Western Carolina.
And the
Knowles, Marcus Kell.
Knowles with 0 fouls. That aggression, it's a tough break for guys. The aggressive team usually doesn't get called as many fouls as the team that's playing a little less aggressive.
That's a good point. Well, so far, Florida State has used defense to propel it to a 10-point lead. They call it moving screen.
Yes, almost like a makeup call, but Ewan right there turned into his man to walk him down, and Coach Kraft's right there giving it to him, and Teddy V nailed him.
They heard you say no fouls on Florida State.
That's part
exactly
of it. They look
happened.
up. They look up. You're right about that, Arya. They keep a look at that scoreboard.
Here's Ice Emery. Going against Bobo and cross-court pass. Morgan, he's got 6 early points. Corner feed, Marcus Kell. Now Morgan. Working against Thomas, a great on-ball defender per head associate coach Stan Jones. Stansbury, oh, that's crafty. Got Jamir Watkins in the air. That's clever. He'll go to the line for 3.
He didn't lose his headband. That's the key. But good, clever move right there to give him a little ball fake and got Jamir in the air and just went right into it and get those 3 free throws. But Kell, we were looking at Marcus Kell a minute ago. He got the foul and then just the play down here to the basket. He's a 4-man who's having to play the 5 for Coach Kraft, as he was telling us at practice. And he can really stretch the floor. He can shoot a little bit, but it's harder for him defensively. And they're trying to hide him at the 5 because he's not a 5. And it'll work in the SoCon, but it won't work in the ACC.
Coach Stansbury, other than having great hair like my broadcast partner Jacob Ridenhour, averaging almost 11 points per game. He hits the second.
I've tried to talk myself into the headband, but I just can't. Especially like when I'm like, I hoop a little, but I'm more pickleball. Which, speaking of pickleball, I want to talk with CJ over here. CJ Highland, who Coach Kraft said their best pickleball player was.
Stansbury knocks down 2 of the 3, rocking the headband. Jacob, I feel like you would look good in a headband.
Next game we do together, I'm starting off in a headband.
I'm going to hold you to it. Arya Masudi, Jacob Ridenhour, our entire crew, Ewan. We'll go to the line for a pair. Tuesday night basketball here in Tallahassee, right before the Thanksgiving break. And Stan Jones, Florida State's associate head coach, was wondering, he said, how mature can we handle this, right? It's our 3rd game in 5 days. You got holidays coming up. What kind of effort will you bring early to this one against Western Carolina? Well, on paper, you should have no issues, right? It's a team that you're favored to beat. I think Vegas had Florida State over 20 points as the favorite, but you got to play the game on the court.
Exactly. You don't know how the guys are going to respond. You have a young team. Your leader is Chandler Jackson's a junior, and you don't know what you're going to get from all the newcomers and whether they're going to be focused. And it's a testament to a good practice, which was really a walkthrough, I'm sure, playing on Sunday. But they've come to play here at the start of the game.
25-15. Stansbury against Ewan. Oh, bad pass into the backcourt. Did they say there was a deflection? They do. It'll stay with Western Carolina. Florida State.
They got it off the leg. Teddy V's over there talking to Assistant coach Kevin Nickelberry telling me it touched it.
What about the staff for Florida State? Stan Jones, Kevin Nickelberry, Jake Morton.
Veteran crew, veteran bench over there helping Coach Hamilton.
On the drive. Are they going to give that 2 points? Oh, it's just completely unnecessary from Ewan.
Ball Bowen flew at it to give it a block and didn't get a hold of it, but then Ewan came from the weak side. He's like, I'm getting this bad boy. He thought he was about to put one in the bleachers. Right there, he pins it up against the glass. If the ball hits the glass first all night long, it's a goaltend.
Brandon Morgan's got 8. Western Carolina has trimmed the deficit to 8. Watkins, quiet first half for Florida State's leading scorer. He hasn't scored. He has 0 points. Jackson floats it, rattles around, kind iron. Knowles back up by 10.
He's a big body guard, Jackson, and he loves to kind of get that contact to get his shot off and right there. But you talk about Jameer Watkins not scoring. That's a testament to his maturity to not be forcing shots.
McKee, and maybe that time Ewan did get a deflection. That one's going to be clean. Watkins head of steam. He's fouled. And I believe he's headed to the line for the 0-1-1.
It's a tough blow in the paint prior.
This Seminole team, Jameer Watkins looking for his first points. This is a 1-1. It's just the bonus. And that one rattles out. And Watkins, early season charity stripe struggles continue. Hasn't been so charitable for him.
No, last year he was all over 80% for the season, and this year he's struggling to stay above 60.
Kell, 3-ball, rattles out. Rebound, battled around, won by Bol Bowen.
Coach Kraft was talking about that's an ability he has to drill that shot. 44% for the season.
Watkins knocks down the tray ball, top of the key, his first points of the night. And his 100th career 3-point field goal made. Congrats to Jameer Watkins.
Yes, sir. He can't make his free throws right now, but he can still drain that ball from deep.
He's been continuing to work on that to try and improve his NBA draft prospects.
His free throws will come around. That's just a matter of timing. Put too much mustard on that hot dog.
Nice feed inside. Ewan couldn't finish. Couldn't wrap it around the rim. Tough angle. Kell on the attack. Block shot. Bol Bowen. He's got a couple of them now tonight. Watkins to Chandler Jackson, and he lays it in.
Good ball movement. That was a good movement. The last couple shots have been forced in traffic when they were mishandled passes. That's a good offensive possession for Florida State, even though it's basically a secondary break.
7-0 run. Holt the steal. Angles his body, and he lays it in. Timeout, Western Carolina. Tim Kraft has seen enough. He wants to talk it over. Students are ready to go home for the holidays.
Absolutely. And you got the, looks like we got the pep band still got a little showing over there tonight. Turkey Day coming up. Everybody wants to get some of Mom's cooking.
Here in this Hurricane Helene relief game. General admission tickets sold. It was not on the schedule originally. It was supposed to be played in Cherokee, North Carolina at the Harrah's Casino. Florida State going to donate all proceeds to hurricane relief. That's a good 3-ball. Right corner. And is that Fisher Brown? It is. He was 5 of 7 from beyond the arc coming into tonight.
They didn't say that. He's shooting 67%. He hadn't got enough to really count in the statistics.
Florida State's been a good zone offense this season. Good ball movement. Leonard Hamilton's team has been passing the heck out of the ball. And Watkins
Speaking of a shooter,
another 3.
Speaking of a shooter, a guy that's worked on his shot all summer.
Turnover, 2 points. Bostyn Holt flips it in.
He's clipping off some points tonight. Bostyn Holt showing his size and his body, taking those passes right away from the Catamounts.
He brought Bostyn Holt in to be an experienced, steady player, a veteran voice, over 100 career games and multiple collegiate stops. On the kick out, turnover. That's the 11th of the half. Here's Holt. He can shoot it. Knocks it down. Another 3-ball. It's raining triples for Florida State. Another timeout taken by the Tally native.
It doesn't really count the stat book, but the Portland native can shoot the ball from way downtown, and he's really selective on when he pulls the trigger.
Leonard Hamilton said the best shooting teams are also the best passing teams. Jacob, what does he mean by that?
Well, he means to get easy shots. That's why they make their shots. Guys that are forcing shots with the defense in their face or somebody flying at them, those are guys that aren't moving the ball very much. You move the ball, you break the defense down. Your third, fourth, fifth pass is when you get a wide open look.
McKee nearly traveled. Cross-court pass. Triple in the air, off the left side. Ooh, how about Dang? One-handed rip down to the board.
Using that full length to pull that bad boy down.
Looked like Odell Beckham Jr. going for a pass. Trying to rip one down, huh?
Yes. Hewitt needs to settle down. He's not playing like he did this weekend. He's like looking right now. He needs to be fit.
On Thursday.
The 69 on really 70% shooting for Florida State to the 32% shooting for the Catamounts kind of sums up the 42-20 score.
It's a Seminole team who has shot the basketball well from beyond the arc over the last 4 games. And again tonight, 4 of 9 here in this first half, over 40%.
And it goes back to that ball movement where they're getting good looks.
The Catamounts have had trouble against Florida State's length and athleticism. Tim Kraft saying you just can't simulate it in practice. Brown, kick out, Morgan, 3. We've seen a couple of air balls here from Western Carolina. FSU is swarming on that side of the ball.
And you said the same thing that Adam Fisher said from Temple after their game on Friday. He said it's hard to simulate what you're going to see against Florida State in practice due to their length and size, and that's exactly what's happening to Tim Kraft and the Catamounts.
The Seminole team looking to move to 7-1 for the first time since that 2019-2020 season. Watkins had made his last 2 triples, not that time. The save attempt there from Dang into the hands of a purple jersey. 3 minutes to play in this opening stanza. Here's Ice. Emery swings it across. Pelot.
Look at the handles for the big fella.
Maluk. How about it? 3 ball. Oh, rattles in and out. Rim spit it out. How about Maluk sticking with the guard? As Jackson will go to the line for a pair of free throws.
Yes, Maluk's got quick feet, and he is growing into his body really as the season moves along. He's getting more acquainted to the offense and the defense and where he's supposed to be on the floor. He can shoot it too. 3-minute scoring drought here, Aria, for the Catamounts.
That defense has been able to stifle Western Carolina. When the Noles are switching like that, Jacob, what kind of challenges does that present to an opposing offense?
Well, one, they've never seen it, so they're probably still adjusting to this switching ball pressure, you know, front your man in the post. It's just not what you're accustomed to, but it also is it's just hard to get a pass off. You can see when a guy picks his ball up just a moment ago where C.J. Highland had the ball picked up, he had nowhere to go with the ball because everyone was covered, and he couldn't score. The man on him was 6'7", and C.J. Highland's coming in at 6'1" aggressively.
Chandler Jackson. That's a sweet sound. Good work from our audio and that team.
Stole my thought. Like, good. We're on the same brother.
Yeah.
I was like, that is sweet. I need that for my ringtone.
There are a few better sounds. Maybe the ping of a baseball bat when someone catches one right for a home run.
I'll give you that one. But man,
that splashing, I mean, it's pretty good.
String music's hard to beat, though.
Stansbury trying to create the angle. Look at the Noles. Good extra pass. Collins can't finish. Ball Bowen, another rebound.
Stansbury, 3 or 4 ball fakes. Nowhere to go with the big athletes waiting on him.
Ball Bowen calls his own number. 3 ball, rattles out. The big man, offensive rebound. He hangs, can't finish. Another chance. 2 athletic.
He was not going to let that one get away from him. I love the aggressive rebounding and trying to just headhunt for that rim to get it in.
The cousin of Bol Bol of the Phoenix Suns. From a long lineage of great basketball players from Sudan. Stansbury, pump fake, pull up, doesn't shoot it. Ball movement, Morgan. Into the lane, he can't finish through the contact. Davis, smallest player on the court, comes away with the ball. Noles want to run in transition, 3-on-3. Good look, and Shot blocked. Whoa, that was a vicious block.
The Princeton transfer jumped right with him and just slapped it away.
Emery can't finish. The big man hitting the floor, and his teammates love it. Oh, my goodness.
Look at Vernon Collins running with him. It says, "Not today, Taylor Boboin. This is my paint right now."
Started to think about LeBron James and Andre Iguodala from the finals all those years ago. The chase down block by LBJ. And again, we talked about it. If you're gonna attack, if you're gonna meet him at the rim, you either foul him or you better block it.
You better come to the party prepared, because if you don't, you're gonna go home from the party very disappointed. And he blocked the bad boy with that block party. Look at the help defense. It's impressive how quick the secondary help's coming. Big basket by Stansberry.
Stansberry from way downtown. Off the catch and shoot. Swinton through some contact. Knowles can't get anything out of it. It'll go out of bounds to the Catamounts.
Vernon Collins right there again, tall enough, big, strong, physical body. You know, he won the Ivy League title last year at Princeton. He was on the team that went to the Sweet 16 that beat Missouri and Dennis Gates, the former Florida State assistant. He's got a lot of leadership skills, but he's originally from North Carolina, wanted to get back to the home state, transferred to Western Carolina, and here he is having a heck of a game right there against some bigs that are, he's a quality-sized big guy. He can play against these Florida State bigs.
He's got some big experience, right? As you mentioned, I mean, he played at Princeton, went to a Sweet 16, back-to-back Ivy League champions last season. They win the Ivy League. I mean, a high clip shooting the ball at Princeton.
Yeah,
so he brings winning experience.
Yeah.
There. Ice.
Ice.
That was cold.
Deep.
From the one they call ice.
He's your lead scorer, back-to-back 20-point games.
It's a quick 30-second timeout, but Western Carolina
be able to execute later in the year. But the game's not over. These guys make some threes. Florida State goes cold. It's a 10-point game, and then all of a sudden everybody's worried.
Totally. Shot clock off. Knowles will have the final attempt here in the first half. 6 seconds. Davis got to get going. 4 seconds now, the freshman. To Thomas. 2 seconds. Thomas got to get one up. At the heave, he baked it in. It's going to count all three of those. Justin Thomas and Florida State.
We'll see how Vernon Collins handles him here starting the game.
And so the Seminoles on the court. It'll be Holt, Ewan, Jackson, Bowen, and Jameer Watkins. Same five they began the game with. Oh, Jackson had nasty intentions on that drive. Handful of purple jerseys in the area.
He saw the promised land and was trying to get there. Came up short, had to jump a little quicker because the defense helped.
Jacob, what do you want to see early on, adjustment-wise, from Western Carolina?
Well, they've just got to get open looks. They've got to be able to get a clean line to the basket, and Pelote right there, good look. That's what I'm talking about. He puts it on the floor, dribbles short corner, and just elevates up over the defense. You got to get good looks. You can't have to force it late in the shot clock, which is what happened early.
Confident looking stroke there from Pelote. Ewan confident as well. He's fouled. Are they going to count it? They say no basket.
That, as a coach, is one of those controversial situations where your guys got to bump into him because the offensive guy's backing you down. And Tim Kraft used one of my favorite phrases in practice today. He said they're going to Barkley you to the rim, referring to Charles Barkley, where he would just back you down. A couple years ago, it was against the rules to back a guy down with the bumps, but now you can bump him down.
Foul called on Florida State, on Western Carolina.
Bernard Pelote picking one up there.
Good eyes, partner. Couldn't catch a number.
Well, that's a tough one for them because, you know, they need him on the floor. He's their second big, really, besides Vernon Collins. And they took Vernon Collins out and put Kell back in, Marcus Kell.
Watkins had 6 first-half points, averaging nearly 18 a game. Coming into the contest, here's Ewan. Holt, ball fake. Watkins, 3 ball, lets it fly, connects. Jamir Watkins and the improved deep ball.
They sucked the defense in with the penetration and pitched it out for Jamir Watkins just to drill that open three.
That's his third triple. That's all his points. 9 points on 3 threes for Jamir, who really lives in the paint and inside 10 feet.
He's worked on it, and you can tell by watching the way he shoots it, but he's got total confidence from deep.
There's a foul as Emery was on the drive. Jamir Watkins, Sports Illustrated had him in a mock draft, an NBA second-round projection to the Nets at number 43 overall. Now, that could go northwards. He could sneak his way into the back half of the first round. That's going to come with hitting more of those threes.
Absolutely. Just showing what you can do on offense, and more than showing what he can do on offense. Knocking down his third three of the game.
He's been the bright spot here for the Catamounts. He's got 11. First Catamount into double figures.
The junior from Caldwell Community College, he dropped 27 in junior college.
Watkins, first 2 of the game, and it's a rim assault.
Watkins sitting there dropping his 2 from the baseline, baby. Sit in that thing, young fella.
That was the hammer. Stansbury, 3-ball, yes.
3 for 2, baby. Stansbury's not afraid to pull the trigger. 34%.
And the Catamounts are now 8 of 20 for 40% from three-point line. Holt on the carom off the rim is fouled.
Ewan unselfish kicks it. Look at that. Leaves it to see his cutting teammate Jamir Watkins Bowen with the official assist, but that hockey assist by Ewing got it started.
Florida State's got 11 assists on 20 made baskets. And with the 50%. Watkins rises mid-range. That's his spot. It was well contested, though.
It's his first 4 shot of the game in my book.
Another 3 there. That was Emery. No. Offensive rebound. Kell. Kick out McKee. Morgan, he's been hot from 3. Launches that one back iron. And ripped out of the sky by Bowen.
The closeout by Watkins kind of made that one more difficult than the last couple threes.
Holt caught in no man's land. Taken away. Here's Ice Emery on the attack. Reverse lay-in. That's sweet.
Ice Emery, the little man going up in the trees, not even afraid of the contact. Use that rim to protect it. Threw it up on the other side. Western
Carolina outscoring Florida State 10-5 here in the second half. A little spurt now for the Catamounts. It was a big hill to climb. Bowen rims out. Ewan fighting for it. Holt saves it to a teammate. Bowen cross-court pass, extra pass. Jackson 3-ball, lets it fly off to the right.
Unselfish possession by Florida State. Everyone sharing the ball, but Jackson should have shot that thing in rhythm instead of the pump fake.
Ice Emery, the junior from Appleton, Wisconsin. How about this, Jacob?
Splits the trees. Bowen swatting at it kind of halfway, and he just goes right under Jamir Watkins, using that rim to protect it. The young fella, man, he can play. And not only can he play, he has got one of the coolest names I've heard all season long with Ice Emery.
An elite scorer at the junior college level prior to going to Dodge City. He was at Merrimack. They won the NEC conference.
The last 2 games, he's shooting 47% and averaging 20 points a game.
Stolen away. Watkins into the open court. Alley-oop. Jackson rips it down.
He's not going to miss that dunk, folks. Great pass by Jamir Watkins. But the young fella running with him, the 2 veterans on the Florida State team working together.
Highland, the kick out. Stansbury, 3-ball, rims out. Offensive rebound, stick back, not there. Great effort by Kell.
Marcus Kell getting long for the rebound.
No look pass, Bowen. He's fouled.
Great call, Connor Penn right there. Good young official on top of it.
Ripped down the nets. They were making it rain. 43% in 2 games. The second game against UMass, Jacob, 9 of 18 for 50%. And then tonight, 43%. Bowen fouled. That's going to count as well.
On that percentage, and tonight 6 of 14, they're right there on top of him with the 43% carrying out. But we talked to coach at practice today, shoot around officially, And he talked about the key that's really loosening up their ability to shoot the ball better is the ball movement and getting the offenses clicking and sharing the ball, and it's giving them the opportunity to get cleaner looks and better shots without the defense in their face. And it's showing by their percentages.
Well, Bowen now with 5 points, 3 rebounds, couple of blocks, couple of steals. Taylor Bowen, almost a Swiss Army knife type.
And that's the type of player he is, Ari. His ability to jump and run is so long and just explosive athlete.
Stansberry rising fire. Nope. Bowen long rebound. Flashes into the open court. Ewan a little out of control.
Yeah, he needs to wrap that thing up, Ari. You're right about that. Don't just run around there and flick it.
Tempo picking up. Stansberry around Ewan. Nice pass, Cal. That was going to be difficult. See what they call jump ball. I think the possession arrow, though, is going to stay with the Catamounts.
He got bailed out with the big fella's cupping the ball when he was trying to release it because he was about to walk. Both Maury and I both were sitting there waiting on the walk call, but they got him on the stuff. But Kells is just not as strong as those post players from Florida State, and it's hard for him to kind of go through them.
Livingston, that 3 off to the right. Hewitt grabs the rebound and then airmails it over Holt's head into our courtside seating.
These guys are earning their money over there. They better pay attention, or they're going to say Nike across their forehead.
Livingston. Excuse me, this is Highland, C.J. Highland, the freshman from Loganville. Onto the deck, lost control. Jackson will earn the tie-up, and this time, possession arrow, Florida State.
It's almost a little comical to watch Florida State because everyone's trying to get that deflection, and when they get that deflection, you can see the bodies react, where everyone's ready to break out and take off to get that transition running.
Daquan Davis and Jerry Dang will also enter, as does Alir Malouk. Western Carolina, couple subs as well. Marcus Kell's given some good minutes.
Chase McKee coming in to match up with Malouk.
Western Carolina team that's amongst the most inexperienced teams in the country as Dang misses the tray ball. Only 10 teams have less experience than the Catamounts, who last year were amongst the nation's leaders in D1 experience. Highland, no good on the 3.
Welcome to the transfer portal.
Alley-oop. Too much there for Dang from Davis.
If you have a good team at the mid-major level, your guys are trying to transfer up instantly, and that's kind of what happened to Western Carolina, along with their coach leaving. They transfer and go get a new setting, so to speak. And we were talking about the NLI money and how it works at Western Carolina and the SoCon today, and it's effective there too. You better have some money if you want to keep your players on campus.
No doubt. You lose a player like Vontarius Woolbright or Trey Jackson, Russell Jones. Nice little bucket there inside. That one by Sinq 11. It's not easy to replace that talent. A couple of guys went with Justin Gray to Coastal Carolina. He had one player transfer to Cal, and Swinton, he flashes the athleticism in the youngster. The freshman's headed to the line.
But it goes back to Thomas, who stayed with the deflection right here, stays with it, and just sees his cutting teammate and gives it to Swinton to get it up through the defense. And the bench is fired up.
A.J. Swinton, a unique player for Florida State, right? 6'6", 200-pound freshman, was the first commit of the 2024 class. Still growing into his body, talking to some folks around Florida State's program as that free throw rims out. Long arms, active defensively, great on-ball defender, but over the weekend in Connecticut, he showed he could shoot the 3-ball too, connected on a few of those. And as all Leonard Hamilton recruits, the athleticism above the rim always stands out.
Yes, and that's every time he's going to have a guy on his team, and he wants it at every position, really, who has the ability to elevate when necessary. Even Davis, one of the smallest guys on his roster, he will go up and throw it down on your head quickly from the point guard position.
Well, number 19 there right on your screen. Good work from our director, Kirby Kander. Leonard Hamilton saying he reminds me of a little bit of like a young Raekwon Gray or Terrence Mann. Didn't compare him to him completely, but said young, when they came in, it was all tools and body. And we developed it into a player that became an NBA caliber player.
Absolutely, and it takes time to develop.
T-Man signing an extension with the Los Angeles Clippers earlier this offseason. That's a rich man.
Yeah, he's a rich man playing in the newest arena in the NBA. And if there's any player that deserves it, that guy was the heart and soul of Leonard Hamilton's crew that had it rolling here at Florida State.
You completely missed what I did there, didn't you?
I did.
That's okay. We'll continue to work on this chemistry. On the attack. Oh, I think that might be a travel. Nope, they're going to call a foul. Alir Malouk went up for the rebound, came down. So, yep, there is a foul. There was a nudge. Let's look at it again.
Stays with the rebound, but got to land on your feet. They knocked his feet out from under it.
The ceiling of Alir Malouk. In the early going, averaging nearly 4 points per game, 2 rebounds. But it's the vast skill set and the athleticism, because he can't make the free throw. The energy levels, though, he always brings 110%.
Yes, and I didn't want to jinx him. He was shooting 71% from the free throw line prior to that, so he can shoot the ball, as he's evident with his outside jump shot.
Foul on the floor. We'll go against Florida State.
The men in stripes are tightening it up on that perimeter defense, which is probably necessary.
Battening down the hatches, so to speak. But Malouk should still be in high school. 17 years old when he arrived at Florida State. Was a top 40 recruit in the 2026 class. He reclassified. Still a 4-star by all the outlets. But you see what NBA scouts are salivating at. 7 foot. With that kind of athleticism, versatility. And he's staying in front. But how about the move there from Brandon Morgan? Got him on the pump fake.
Going right by him. Got the big fella to bite. But Malouk did stay with him in ability. He's so long, he'd come from behind and still contest.
61-40. Under 12 media time.
And even Jameer Watkins, I think Nickelberry was very involved in keeping him out of the transfer portal, or getting him to come back out of the transfer portal and return to Florida State.
The Seminoles near steal here, as the Noles had turned up the pressure in the full court to a full court press of sorts. But the Catamounts break. At least they survive it. And now Morgan. Interior feed. Couple of long arm Seminoles in there. 3-ball launched, back iron. Off the glass, no. Rebound, Swinton. He pushes the break. Thomas to Dang, who's got a 3 in every game this season, but does not have one here tonight. Bad pass, turnover on the attack, and a dunk. Fisher Brown, coast to coast.
Fisher Brown, the Montana native, with the flush. Jumping his own passing lane for that breakaway steal.
Thomas, Dang, ball on the deck, high off the glass. Oh, a sweet kiss.
Used his body, absorbed that contact from Collins, and just laid it up soft.
The 7-footer, the freshman, hitting the deck. Noles want to run. Davis through contact. Showing you the strength in that small package.
Can you tell he's a former football player, Aria? The way he just goes in there with that contact and explodes up to get that shot.
(65-42). Davis, 5 points now to go, along with 3 rebounds. Deflection, ball loose. Thomas fighting for it. He's got it. Noles have numbers. Davis, oh, punched out of his arms. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Florida State.
Dang just puts it on the floor, goes through Collins, can't get the dunk, and then Davis into Emery's chest, goes right through him. It looks like, hey, where's my foul?
Daquan Davis has come in for Florida State, and he's provided a natural ball handler. A kid who's played point guard his entire life, 6 foot tall, and that might be generous. It might be one of those roster helpings on the height, but he plays like a man who's 6'5".
Yes, he does. And Leonard Hamilton was telling us today at shoot-around, even Davis, as good as he's playing for Florida State, and what you're seeing on the floor, he's their leading assist man. He's learning the point guard position for Florida State. As he said, he's used to grabbing the ball and bringing it up the floor every time, but at Florida State, you got to run the wing sometimes. For example, Thomas got that board, pushed it up the floor, and Davis ran the wing versus trying to get the ball to then bring it up himself.
Yeah, 4-star recruit was Davis out of Overtime Elite. The Baltimore native, and they hoop in Baltimore.
Yes.
That is a tenacious brand. Is that three? Nope.
A couple documentaries on that hoops up there in Baltimore.
Totally. Here's Davis. Has created for his teammates well. Has been fearless early on. Thomas, three, no. Offensive rebound. Swinton, shot blocked, but foul on Cologne. And you see the smile on A.J. Swinton's face. He has brought good energy and a good demeanor here to this Florida State team in his rookie campaign.
A.J. Swinton going through 2 defenders, absorbing that contact. He's just wishing he could have finished. All these youngsters getting a lot of good minutes here with 10 minutes, 9:46 to go here in the second half. They know they got a lot of burn down the stretch.
A Florida State team who knew they were playing 3 games in 5 days rested a lot of guys against UMass once that game got out of hand. No one playing over 24 minutes in that game. And Coach Hamp feels as confident as ever as he's there with Coach Nickelberry in the depth of this team. And the Noles, one of the best teams in the country at relying on using their bench.
Oh, he's going to rotate them out, and it's a kind of flashback to what he's had a few years back, how he can almost bring in a whole new posse, so to speak, and a whole new crew when he subs.
Swinton approaching his young career high. He's now got 6, that number 8. Swinton, who played at DeMatha and at Oak Hill, a couple of basketball powerhouses prior to coming to Tallahassee.
He's suited up with some really good historical players.
A foul called on Western Carolina. Those were in the break. Had 3 gold jerseys, really with no purple in front.
And Fisher Brown, who was on the floor trying to wrap it up, clipped his feet as Swinton was trying to take off. Everyone gets excited on the offensive side of a break.
Well, that miss there from Florida State, just their 4th. 76% tonight, which is a massive step in the right direction from where they've been early on this season. Leonard Hamilton goes, it's mental. These free throws, I've got kids who I know are good free throw shooters, and in practice, they all knock them down. As Swinton goes 0 for 2 there. It's only a half an ouncer's jinx because he had already missed the first one. Just want to put that out there. I only take 50% of the blame. Collins, kick out. Emery, Brown, 3-ball, rattles out. And the Noles got a little handsy there.
Yeah, Collins trying to get that rebound, and they wouldn't let him get his hands up. But the fans are still loving it.
She was singing something. Maybe just the tune in her own head.
Yes, I concur. Could have been the AirPods.
9 minutes to play. Stolen away. Another turnover. Dang's got to be careful. Oh, he got pickpocketed. Sneak attack from Ice.
Little man came right behind him.
The trail 3, that rattles out. Swinton fighting for it. Couple catamounts. Timeout was called, but Florida State, okay, it was Florida State who called the timeout. Tulane's down in Sunrise at the home of the Florida Panthers. Then you got a couple of home games. The Noles can manage that, don't you think, Jacob, to try and find some wins and continue the positive momentum?
Yes, they can manage it, but those two road games coming up are harder than they were, especially the LSU game, who has really come on. They beat Kansas State in Manhattan, Kansas, and so you can't sleep on them. And the Pete Maravich Center is not an easy place to play, but definitely the depth of this team should give them a problem down there in Baton Rouge.
That game a part of the ACC-SEC Challenge. Thomas has got to get it off. At the buzzer, he does. It clips the front iron. Good defense in the half court by the Catamounts on that possession.
It's a heady move, him to pay attention. They realized he was in a bind on that shot clock.
Think about Florida State, and if they find 9 or 10 non-conference wins, that puts them in terrific position once you get to league play. Oh, nice floater off the glass. Thomas can't finish. Oh, he stayed with it. Count it and one. Justin Thomas to the line. You're trying to find the pieces right now. There have been some bright moments, though, I think, for the Catamounts tonight to build upon.
Oh, for sure. And bright moments here, but with that schedule, you go into Marquette, they got their hands full. And then that game at Tennessee coming off their tournament victory down there in the Bahamas last week. And a unbelievable defensive squad up there in Knoxville, Tennessee. But it's a team that's going to get better with their youth, and as the season goes on, Tim Kraft will get the guys learning his system. As he told us today, it's like we're all learning. They don't know anything about how we coach, and we don't know anything about how they play.
Highland 1v1 against Dang. The glass is kind.
For the third time tonight, we've got banked-in shots.
Some Windex to wipe that thing down. Davis, he responds with a three.
Back to back. They're raining. The 10th three of the night for the Noles.
Thomas looking for need to. Over the top. Whistle. And a foul called.
Good call. My man from Montana, Fisher Brown, had him kind of hooked, holding E2 down. It's not every day. Montana, you think of like fly fishing, elk, moose, Yellowstone, you know. And here we got Fisher Brown, a 66% three-point shooter, 71% from the field on the young season. Shot 93% free throws in prep school. That's some good free throw shooting. Former NCAA free throw percentage leader, was an assistant coach here, Aria.
77-46.
That would have been Andy Enfield, now the SMU head coach.
Trivia, not my strong suit.
I noticed.
Nope, yep.
Rich man.
Andy Enfield. We're back here in Tallahassee against Florida State and SMU. Big block from Nitu. He wants a second. He's got a second. Wants a third. Third time not a charm.
Hey, the young Canadian. Look at him. He's hyped. He is in there loving it.
Big energy burst.
Playing with the contact. Look, he goes up on him. Nope, not today. Come on, Marcus Kales. Come back at me. He's sweating at them all. Get those shots out of here. It's like a human frost water down there, Aria.
Cal knocks down the first free throw. The catchphrases are coming along.
Hey,
they're
relaxing. I'm relaxing.
Yeah,
don't make my sheet out.
Yeah. Cal knocks them both down. 77-48. Final game for Florida State and Western Carolina before they break for the Thanksgiving holiday. Need to, oh, that's a beautiful zone break. Florida State executes to perfection, and Thomas on the dunk.
It's that ball movement, Aria. They've been talking about it since Connecticut. Teamwork, moving the ball.
This Leonard Hamilton team has done a good job at least in the limited sample set of breaking opposing team zones. They need to. It doesn't matter if the whistle's gone. My dude's he's foaming at the mouth.
He's dying to block.
Look at this again.
Look at that. Just quick catch. Didn't even hold it in his hand. Need to just tossed it right to Thomas and took off running down the court looking like Steph Curry shooting a three. But, you know, they got really excited about Need To here in Tallahassee. It's another big man who can really spread the floor and get things done in Leonard's system. He's 6'11", 210 pounds from Whitby, Ontario, the top 40 power forward. Illinois, Creighton, Pitt, Utah, a lot of big schools recruited him.
Davis. That could have been goaltending two different ways. I think Teddy Valentine will have to look at it. They will count the basket for Florida State, so it was goaltending first before the cylinder violation.
You sound like a basketball expert over there, are you?
I don't even believe what I said. Sometimes you just babble and hope it makes sense. 81-48, 5.5 to go. Stansberry inside out dribble, pull up mid-range. That's pretty. You practice that in the gym before and after every practice. Dang, three ball, off to the right.
Guy's not seen an open look he doesn't like.
His streak is at 7 right now. Every game this season of making at least one three-point shot. That's in jeopardy over the next 5-18.
Of course, Stansberry, the Pepperdine transfer, which not a lot of folks would turn down Malibu for Cullowhee, North Carolina. But they're both beautiful places and a lot of fun things to do. But man, he's got a sweet little jumper when he gets a clean look at it. Mass substitutions for Florida State. Got the starting lineup back in. One more little quick rep, I would assume, going into the media timeout at 4 minutes, and then probably see some more fresh faces.
You're trying to give C.J. Highland some love earlier. I feel like this will allow you to expound on that as being the best pickleball player on the team, and he knocks down the first free throw to give you a chance to talk about it.
Hey, well, we asked Coach Kraft what he did to bond his team with the new staff, and he said we did a lot of coaches versus player competitions, whether it be volleyball, whether it was softball. They did some hiking, and he said they played pickleball. And I said, hey, let's get to the real question. Who's the best pickleball player on the team? And he said, hands down, C.J. Highland. He played tennis in high school, and he dominates the rest of the crew.
How's your pickleball?
Pretty solid, man.
Me too.
Let's go.
Turnover on Florida State. That is their 14th turnover here in the game. They forced 17 of them on the defensive side. The next 5 minutes for Florida State, just trying to ice this game away. Stansberry, Livingston, McKee.
Someone may look at this, Ari, and go, why has he got those guys back in the game? But those other kids can't play 10 minutes. They have to come out of the game to get a break. They got to regroup and then come back in.
Collins sticks the two, and it's 81-54. Not sure what Ewan was trying. Not on the same page as Bol Bowen, who didn't cut. So back to
calculate out the way you think makes sense. And you got to go with the flow, literally, and let the points flow.
81-54. If you're Tim Kraft, you played better in the second half. It's 32-28 Florida State in the second half alone. You moved the ball a little bit better, protected it.
Turned them over, turned Florida State over.
No doubt. Something to build on for a young team that's only played now. This is their third game against a D1 opponent of the year out of 5 total games. And a shot clock violation. Vintage Leonard Hamilton defense strikes again.
And that's what happens when it turns into a little bit of reactionary helter-skelter defense. The offense kind of loses track of where they are with the clock, especially when there's like a deflection, which is exactly what happened on that possession. But you said that about Coach Kraft and the Catamounts. You know, they've got a murderer's row, so to speak, playing 4 high major Division I's with Wake, Florida State, Marquette, and Tennessee. But those non-Division I games help him to, like, help his young team not get beat up.
How about that no-look pass, by the way?
And Jameer Watkins with the knockout punch from the corner.
Yeah.
Another 3 ball.
He's got 4 of them tonight, approaching a career high. 14 for the Noles outstanding junior. Jackson to Holt.
Saying, get in the weight room, big fella. I've been in there.
What have you liked about the Noles here tonight?
You know, the defense, honestly, and there's been some great possessions, there's been some bad possessions, but as a whole, the ball movement and sharing the ball just like they did this past weekend up in Connecticut. And the defense hasn't fallen asleep even though they're against somewhat of an inferior opponent.
And Ken Pom gave Florida State an 80% chance to win this game tonight. Ken Pomeroy's ratings, a 19-point projected win. Vegas right there with them when the line was at 20.5. But the Catamounts, they played hard, and they've got the makings. A good photo there. Which animal is that, Jacob? I'm tossing that to your expert analysis.
Oh.
Is that a cougar?
It's a cougar.
That was a cougar.
All day.
You hesitated.
I know. I had to decide. I was trying to think of something funnier, but didn't come.
Abby Longoff for our audio tells me also called a Florida Panther. I'll take her word for it. She's usually right on many things.
Yeah, there's a domestic cat that looks
a domestic
like,
cat.
No, like literally. I wish I could pull it up right now because my buddy's neighbor has one.
Do you have 5 GLTE speed? You can.
Massive. You saw that thing, you would run because it looks like you're going to get attacked. But like they're like little, act like a kitty.
Well, I spent more time than I'm proud of to try and find out this story, so I'm going to tell it to you, folks. The Catamounts selected by Western Carolina in the early 1930s. They were looking for a mascot, and it was down to the Catamounts or to the Mountain Boomers. So what's a mountain boomer? That was my natural question.
Everybody moved to the mountains.
It's a wild squirrel.
Oh.
So you could be a squirrel or a cat. And Coach Pondexter at Western Carolina in the early 30s for football said he wanted his team to be a quick attacking, lightning fast, sneak attacking type of team.
You're going to be way more impressive if you're a cat versus a squirrel.
That's the story. I hope you liked it. 2:15 left to play in this game. Stansbury, why not? That's going to go out of bounds to Florida State. But I was saying Todd Rock. Jacob Varga goes, that's our Catamount, also known as Cimarron. I don't think a horse is in the same family as a cat in any shape.
No,
not even
one's
the
got
same.
hooves, one's got paws.
Yeah.
They do both have to clip their feet. Whether it's a hoof, you have to trim a hoof, and you have to trim your claws.
85-54. Just under 2 minutes.
Looking like Kamari Jones making his first appearance of the night here for the Catamounts.
The freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Did his prep work at Hillcrest in Arizona.
Thanksgiving time coming up here in the States. Hopefully you and yours have a great holiday season. Maui Invitational's going on right now. All the different tournaments. Got NFL, college football.
Big matchup tonight with the
Duke
North
and
Carolina
Kansas.
Tar Heels teeing it off against the Auburn Tigers.
Yes, they are.
ACC, SEC, two of the best leagues.
Oh! Need to, couldn't hold on. 3 ball off to the right. Davis.
Straight off the bench to straight off the side of the rim.
85-54, Davis over the top, and Botch. Davis, 3, yes, Knowles of 88. Davis, a career high now with 16 points. How about the freshman filling it up?
Hey, not only can he distribute the ball, he can shoot that thing through that string music.
High off the glass and in. C.J. Highland will go to the line for the and one. How about Davis from deep?
He sizes him up, puts ice in the face, and says, I got ice water in my veins, too. Rosickeas still looking for his first field goal. Unselfish to give that ball up for Daquan Davis to get that jumper. It's our pickleball challenge right there at the free throw line, Aria.
He should run out there and challenge.
I was going to get him at the end of practice, but
yeah. Knocks down the free throw. He's been fun to watch.
Yeah, he's quick as a cat out there, like a catamount.
There you go. 9 points for Highland. Davis lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Knowles. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I love me some mashed potatoes, but you know I'm in charge of putting 2 turkeys on the egg. So wish me luck. Slow and slow, baby. Nobody likes a dry turkey.
I'm with you. Davis fouled. I think that's going to be 3 shots as well for Daquan Davis. Florida State at LSU next week in the ACC SEC Challenge. 1 week from today, Tuesday night. Late tip-off from the Pete, as they call it over there in Baton Rouge.
How about all the flack they got about bringing that Tiger out for the football game recently?
No doubt. Florida State fans have enjoyed quite a few victories over LSU in different sports the last few years, whether that's football, baseball, softball, soccer.
You know, a storied athletic program in Baton Rouge. It's a great city, a great state. A lot of good food in Baton Rouge.
All smiles for Florida State tonight. 91-57, 27 seconds left.
So you got a lot of young guys, friends in the house tonight cheering in the background.
Jalen Crawford into the game for Florida State. That 3 off to the right. Mbach to Simpson. He checks in. Ball thrown out of bounds with 5 seconds left.
Even the walk-ons are unselfish with the ball. A lot of times, back in the day, Travis Light wouldn't pass that. Now, you couldn't pay him to pass it. He'd have shot it.
At the buzzer. That's not going to go. And in this Hurricane Helene relief game for charity, a game the Seminoles